and a monster home run hit to a place that
It was popping.
Who would have thought hip-hop would have made it?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Rob Duran Podcast. Cesar, we're here to talk some NFL playoffs, man. I know you're hyped.
Well, you know I'm hyped, man. I've been looking forward to this for so long. Honestly, there's very few things that are as exciting as the NFL playoffs. And this year, I think, is going to be one of the most exciting NFL playoffs that we've witnessed in recent memory, at least. We actually witnessed one of the best regular seasons in recent memory that I could think of, because we had some great games. Like that Pittsburgh and Baltimore game. What a way to end the regular season.
Yeah, which, speaking of Baltimore, they fired Harbaugh after 18 years coaching.
Yes,
which is crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, Baltimore, I consider them as, more or less a good organization. So I think that they must have somebody in mind, or at least a couple of names in mind to replace him, because you're not just gonna fire a John Harbaugh out of nowhere unless some crazy thing happened, or you really have a clear set view of what the future holds for your franchise, what you want from them.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what direction they go in, especially with Lamar Jackson, his style of play, what they're trying to build with that team, trying to get them to the next level, obviously, because that's what we're all waiting for. So
Exactly, and I feel like Harbaugh, he took on that challenge to adjust to Lamar's style of play. That was a big question mark for Lamar coming in. So a lot of teams passed on him. But I thought John Harbaugh had a hell of a career with Baltimore. I think he did a hell of a job. Did they win with Harbaugh?
yeah, Joe Flacco.
Right. Okay. See, I knew something. Like, it was crazy, man. It was like both coaches, their jobs were on the line for that game, and
Yeah,
it boiled down to a last second kick, which is, you hate to see that, man. That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes in this sport.
which is funny because we spoke about it last time we got together and a little bit off air, how this NFL season has been different. The teams that you would expect to fight for a Super Bowl in the Chiefs and Ravens are at home on the couch watching now. And you got teams who maybe you didn't expect in the playoffs fighting for a chance to be Super Bowl champions this year.
Yes, like teams like the Jaguars, for example, the Patriots. I don't think
Yeah.
I think they went from what, they won like 3 or 4 games last year. Now they won 14 games, so their turnaround was crazy. The Bears, the Panthers on the playoffs. I don't think anybody had that in their bucket list. So
I was a year early on them.
you did. They went from winning like 1 game to making playoffs, man. What a jump. Wow. Yeah, it goes to show you, man. Your franchise might be doing bad 1 year, and then the next year, they could switch it around. So that gives fans hope.
Unless you're a Jets fan. Still hoping.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they need that priest to come in, the priest from Pittsburgh. The one
Yeah.
that they need that man in New York ASAP. Spread that locker room with some holy water, because
Jeez.
I
They
don't know
need
what's
something,
going on
man.
there. Yeah, but I mean, I guess let's jump right into it, right? You
Let's do
wanna?
it.
Yeah. So we wanted to give you a little breakdown of each game in chronological order, and also give our picks. So the first game we have on the slate is the Rams at the Panthers, 4:30. How do you see that game, Roberto? I think this is the most straightforward game out of the bunch.
I agree. I'm going to just rip the Band-Aid. I think the Rams are going to take this game.
Okay.
Originally, my thought was this was going to be a blowout. I wouldn't be surprised if it is, honestly, because I just think the Rams have firepower. Matthew Stafford has turned back the clock, and he's an MVP candidate. Wide receivers are who they are. You could see an MVP and an Offensive Player of the Year on the same team with the Rams, with Puka and with Stafford. So I'm going to go Rams taking this one. Again, wouldn't surprise me if it's a blowout, but, maybe the Panthers will make it competitive in the second half, but I'm going Rams all the way on this one.
I'm also going Rams as well. I think they're like 10.5 favorites or something. I'm not sure if I'll take the points in this, but I definitely see this. The Panthers actually have a really good defense, so I think that's going to keep them in the game, especially early on. However, I feel like these two teams already played each other in the regular season. The Panthers did beat them, but you give a guy like Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford 8 quarters to figure you out. I think that's a recipe for disaster for the opposing team. And I just think the Rams are the better team overall, period. I mean, I think they have a better defense, have a better offense, better quarterback, better coach, and better players. I think this is probably the easiest pick out of the bunch in this first week of the playoffs for me. And I do have Matthew Stafford as the MVP this year. And yeah, I think, they got Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams might be back. I think it's going to be too much to handle for Carolina. A young team, too, at that. But I do like the Carolina Panthers. I think Bryce Young had a way better year this year. And he's making some good plays this year. And who knows, this year has been so weird that I don't put anything past anybody anymore.
You just never know.
Just never know, man. Never know. So we both got the Rams there. Now we're going to the game that I'm looking forward to the most because I am super biased. But this is also the oldest rivalry in sports history. The Green Bay Packers travel to the Chicago Bears. Last time they played each other in Chicago in the playoffs was 2010, and the Packers went on to win the Super Bowl. How do you see this game, Roberto?
Bueno. Third time they're playing each other this year.
Yeah.
It's been some pretty good games. I expect another good one. I can see this ending on like a last second drive or a field goal, something to that effect. I think it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a dogfight, especially because, like you said, it's a rivalry game in the playoffs, which you don't see very often. But we're getting it right off the bat in the first round. Cesar, my brother, I love you. But I'm going to go Chicago on this one, bro.
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
In a close one, like a 20-23, something like that.
Okay. I respect that. The Bears have had a great season this year. Caleb Williams has really impressed me.
Yes.
This year, his ability to keep plays alive and make plays while he's outside the pocket. He's also a pretty decent, good runner, so that's a lot for the defense to deal with. He reminds me of and guys, don't butcher me in the comments. I'm not saying that he's the same caliber player, but he reminds me of like a lesser Josh Allen. Like that would be like his ceiling type thing. Because a lot of his question marks was his like Josh Allen was question mark was his accuracy towards the beginning of his career, and Caleb had some of those same question marks that people had. But I think he was the first overall pick. And I think he was the first overall pick for a reason. And they've really impressed me. The only thing with the Bears in this game, I wonder how much man coverage they're gonna play this game, and how much they're gonna blitz as well. Jordan Love, he thrives in blitzes. He loves this like blitz game. They've also were like the best team in third down for most of the year.
I feel like that's a Packers QB MO. Like they just love the blitz.
Right, and I think Rodgers had a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
He probably like really, really taught him what to look for in defenses, and he just has a really nice little fadeaway throw. That's hard. He's hard to sack, man. Jordan Love is a if he can get some sort of good protection, enough protection, I think his receivers have enough talent to break away. Outside of Jalen Johnson and the cornerbacks from the Bears, nobody else really scares me in that secondary. So I do see the Packers making some plays. Now, the key to the victory for them would be they can't settle for field goals early on. I think they need to finish those drives and score, because if you let this Chicago team hang around for too long, last time they played each other, they were up 16 zip, the
Yep.
Packers, and the Bears came back. That happened again last week with the Lions. The Lions were up 16 zip, and the Bears came back. Why? Because they kept settling for field goals. So I think if the Packers can score, which I think they will, and I do see Matt LaFleur being a little bit more aggressive, because you have nothing to lose at this point. You guys barely made playoffs. You're the more experienced team. Go out there and give it to them. Make them beat you. Be aggressive. And of course, I'm going to pick the Packers. I got them winning 20.
I definitely think that might be the game. Not because it's a rivalry, but just because, that might be the game to watch.
I
for
agree.
This round.
It's going to be exciting for sure.
Yeah.
The first two games ended in one score. I don't see why this game won't end in one score as well. It could go either way. Again, I'm gonna be saying that a lot in these breakdowns. But speaking of going either way, the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville is probably the hottest team right now. I think the last time they lost was like in November or something. So who do you got in this game?
Yeah, this was a coin flip, honestly, man. Because of that, because Jacksonville is on fire. They're at home. They've been playing really well this season. But then you look at Buffalo and they have Josh Allen, who is the best player on the field in this game, period. Damn, I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't know if I would call it an upset if Jacksonville wins, because they've played so well this year, but I'm going to lean Jacksonville in a tight one.
Okay.
I feel like when you walk into the NFL playoffs hot, you continue that momentum and you carry it, especially when you don't have that bye week and you don't have that week off. You just keep rolling through. And I know a lot of people, sometimes you wait for that shoe to drop and it's like, nah, they're going to lose first round. I think Jacksonville is for real, and I think they're going to take this one. Another one that I can see semi-high scoring, not in the 40s, but maybe both teams hitting the 30-point margin.
That's how I see this game. I see this game probably being the highest scoring game out of the bunch. I see this being a barn burner. Wow. This is a tough one.
Yes.
Because just like you said, and you got me second thinking right now, because Jacksonville hasn't lost in such a long time, it's going to be hard to, show them anything otherwise. But I'm going to go with the more experienced franchise. I'm going to go with Buffalo. I'm going to go with Josh Allen figuring out a way in a late second drive, a late fourth quarter drive to seal the deal for them. I got this game. Wow, I don't know. 431.
That's what I
something
was
like
thinking
that.
for the score.
Yeah, that's where I got it. I think late in the game, Josh Allen will figure it out and get them the victory. I think it's going to be high scoring. James Cook is going to have a hell of a game, I believe. Yeah, but Jacksonville, man, wow. That's a tough team.
Yeah.
A tough team. They are for real. But the next game we have on our slate is the San Francisco 49ers versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
See, this game is one of those weird games too for me, because the Niners, they have the names, but they also have the injuries.
Yes.
And that's the biggest thing with them.
Yeah.
Is can they overcome the injuries and all this stuff? Healthy, I would have picked 49ers if there were no doubts about health, but because of the health and because the Eagles can just find different ways to win, I'm going to go Philadelphia in this one, man.
Yeah, I agree there. We both agree there. I think, honestly, unfortunately for the 49ers, they just got an unlucky draw. I probably would have had them favorite over any other team besides the Rams in this round, because, that's a division game, and I think the Rams have the They would have to play in LA if they played each other. But yeah, I would probably. It's just tough, man. I saw last week's game against Seattle from the 49ers, and all I could think about was like, wow, this team misses Fred Warner, man.
Yes.
Wow. This team really misses Fred Warner. I feel like they're gonna unleash Saquon Barkley. The Eagles are. I think we're gonna see the best football he's played the whole year.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna, give him a bigger load pause in these playoffs, and I think he's gonna produce. I think they're the Super Bowl champions for a reason. We might see the best football from Philly that we haven't seen all year in these playoffs.
This may be one of those games that they flip the switch kind of thing, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden now they're the hot team in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close one. Don't get me wrong. I do. I do see, because 49ers, they have so many good weapons in offense. McCaffrey, you could argue it's between him and Puka, offensive players of the year. And Brock Purdy has been balling. Besides last week, he was cooking before that. So this might be a little bounce back game for them. But I still have the Eagles. I think the Super Bowl pedigree they got, the experience, from winning, they'll figure it out. That tush push, yeah, man, I got the Eagles. But I feel for those Niners fans, man, because shout out to them. Even though they had all those injuries, they still finished 12-5. So they can't. I don't think Niners fans should hang their heads on their team too much. Any closing thoughts on that game?
No, man. I'm
All right, let's
sticking
go
with my guns there.
All right, so let's go to. I know who you're picking in this game, but the Sunday night game, the LA Chargers travel to New England to face the Patriots, the young Bucks.
This history tells me that the Chargers are gonna lose, because every time I see the Chargers in the playoffs, they lose.
They lose, yes.
No matter how. This is dating back to like the Drew Brees era, the Phillip Rivers era. Like every time they go to the playoffs, they lose.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's how it feels to me.
Yeah.
New England is a surprise team. Drake May is the real deal. He's an MVP candidate as far as I'm concerned. Vrabel is a head coach, probably the head coach of the year, honestly. With the job he's done and the turnaround they had after last season. It pains me to say it, bro, but I'm going to go New England on this one.
And you see how I told you about and this is no shade, guys. This is really no shade. But you see how the Niners, I said they had an unlucky draw? I feel like the Patriots had a pretty lucky draw with the LA Chargers. Don't get me wrong. The Chargers listen, their roster is phenomenal. They have a great team. I do like Jim Harbaugh also as a coach. Justin Herbert, I still don't think we've seen the best football we could possibly see from him.
Man. I feel like I don't know. He can still, I think there's another
I
level
think there's
to him.
still a little leap. Like, he could put it all together for one season and we'll be like, wow. But it's such a, I don't know, man.
To me, it's almost like, again, I'm not comparing them, but like with Derek Carr, we knew he had talent.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had that 1 year. And I know it ended up, he got hurt like at the end of the season, where we were just like, oh no, that's the MVP. I think Herbert is missing that. And I think he's capable of it. For
sure. I think so too. The Patriots, they've had a phenomenal season, man. They have a great running back duo with Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson, who's probably having the best year of his career. They got some good receivers, Stephon Diggs, Butte, good passing tight end, Hunter Henry, good protection up front. And Drake May is probably top 2, maybe 1 in MVP voting. So, I get it. A lot of people say that they had a very easy schedule. I agree, they did. But also they beat the teams they're supposed to beat. And right now they're the favorites again against the Chargers. I think they're going to handle their business one more time. They're going to live to see another week at least. And I see that game ending, I don't know, 27-24, 27-21.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, that's how I see that game.
Say that.
It hurts too. I
New
mean,
England is
hopefully
just too
Herbert
good.
proves us wrong, you know? Patriots are for real. All right, so another one of my looking forward to see games. This is the last one. Monday Night Football. The Houston Texans versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe the Steelers have never lost in Monday night with the Mike Tomlin era. So, yeah, how do you see this game?
I think this is going to be a really good game. I'm glad it's the Monday game because I think it's definitely going to be must watch. Aaron Rodgers back in the playoffs. Having a little bit of a renaissance year, if you want to call it that, after his debacles with the Jets. I'm going to go Pittsburgh in this one, man. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to pull some magic out. He's gonna turn back the clock. He's gonna be playoff Aaron Rodgers. I could see him throwing for 300 yards, maybe 3 touchdowns. It's gonna be vintage Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, if he does that against this defense, man,
I'm going all in.
It's gonna be one for the record books. Because this defense is for real. The Houston Texans, they have arguably the best defense in the league.
They do.
It's between them, Seattle, and maybe Denver. But yeah, that front seven scares me from Houston. It scares me a lot. But Rodgers in the past, he has handled pressure very well. I feel like this is gonna be a mental warfare. I think the game is gonna be close throughout it's going to be similar to that Ravens game where every little play is big. I think these running backs from the Steelers have been red hot lately, even though it doesn't show too much in the stats sheet. If you watch the games, they always make big plays. They have like a few weeks in a row doing it. In Jalen Warren and Gainwell, I feel like DK Metcalf coming back is going to be big for them. Now Aaron Rodgers has a safety blanket. So, and I think that dude, he has 2 weeks rest? He's been resting for 2 weeks now.
Yep.
So it's full throttle. I feel bad for that front seven. They might get to him, but that secondary is gonna have their hands full with DK, and he still also has some good tight ends: Jonnu Smith, Frymuth, and Calvin Austin outside as well. I got the Steelers winning this. Close game, very very close. I don't see it too high scoring. I got it like 20-17, I would say. That doesn't sound exciting, but
if Pittsburgh loses this game, there's a lot of rumblings of Mike Tomlin now that Harbaugh's gone, and it's like, oh, shoot, you can get rid of a coach who's been there forever. Do you see Mike Tomlin getting the boot?
I think he saved his job by making the playoffs last week. I think the people that got the most credit from that win was Tomlin and Rodgers, because they had to deal with it was such an uphill battle for them. Dealing with the absence of Metcalf and stuff. It depends on how they lose, though. If they lose and it's because of a missed field goal or of a made field goal, can't really blame the Ravens kind of blame the coach, but but I don't know. I think he saved his job by making playoffs. If you look at their roster, a lot of people didn't give them a chance this year. I don't think, I don't think a lot of people had them winning that division.
I don't think so either. I think they didn't expect much from Rodgers to begin with.
Exactly.
But, I said at the beginning of the year, he was looking healthy towards the end of last season in that second half. And, he's coming back from that catastrophic injury and was ready to come back early that first year he got hurt. But, you got to give injuries time. And him coming back this year, full off season, no rehab necessary kind of thing. He did his thing. He did what he needed to do.
And just look at how the team has responded for him. They
Yeah.
won the, I think it was, what was it, like in the last 3 weeks or so, or 4 weeks? I don't know. They just won two big games. I think it was the Lions that they had to beat. That was probably the best game they played overall. And then against the Ravens last week. Like the most important games that they needed to win, they showed up for their coach.
Yeah.
They responded. So if there's one thing that locker room, it doesn't seem like they have a lack of, is leadership.
Yeah.
And
For
I
sure.
think it starts with Tomlin. So, I think the owners are sophisticated enough to know. But again, they're going to have, if they do let go of Tomlin, it's because they have somebody in mind already to replace him.
Yes, I agree.
The only way. But we went through the whole slate of the wild card round. Is this a wild card round? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But who do you? I know you picked in our last recording. In case y'all missed it, Roberto had picked the Patriots. I had picked the Bills as an early prediction to win it all. But you have a chance to still change your mind, Roberto. The playoffs just started. Who do you have in the Super Bowl for the AFC and the
You're
NFC?
damn right I'm changing my mind. I'm going in the NFC. I'm going to go with Seattle.
Okay.
Because Sam Darnold is the real freaking deal. I told the Jets to keep him. I told them not to draft Zach Wilson. They did anyway. Got rid of Darnold. He bounced around a little bit, but he became a star with Minnesota. And just, he is who he is. AFC, I'm going to go Pittsburgh, bro.
Okay.
I'm shocking the world. This is a underdog pick, but I think Pittsburgh is going to not so much fly under the radar, but they're going to be sneaky good in these playoffs. They're going to do just enough to win games. They're going to frustrate their opponents. And next thing you know, you're going to look up and it's going to be the freaking Super Bowl and they're there.
Hey, man, I ain't mad at that at all. I hope you're right, man. I would love to see Rodgers in the Super Bowl, man. Yeah, listen, if they get past Houston,
There's a chance.
there's a huge chance. You don't want to give that team any rhythm.
Yep.
Wow. So I'll start in the NFC as well. I also, yeah, man, this is hard. I kind of want to change it now. I originally was gonna pick the Seahawks because I felt like the home field advantage this year is so big in the NFC. I feel like it's gonna. The only team that I could see that going to Seattle and upsetting them, the Los Angeles Rams.
Yep.
Because that's their division rivals. Anything's possible in divisional games. So that's the team that I'm gonna pick to reach the Super Bowl. The Rams in the NFC. I think Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford's MVP year. They have the media has plenty of material there. And I think the game is in Cali, no? The Super Bowl?
Don't remember.
Where is the Super Bowl this year?
Actually, you might be right.
I think it was like Santa Fe or something. Santa Clara. Levi Stadium in California. Oh, the 49ers field. Okay. Yep. Enemy territory. Okay. Yeah, so I got the Rams. I got the Rams there, but I got the Seahawks would probably be the second, my runner-ups. In the AFC, this is where I'm gonna go a little crazy. I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills. I'm gonna stick to
That was
them.
my second pick.
I think if the Bills get past Jacksonville, watch out. I think that this first game against Jacksonville is gonna be one of the toughest games of if they could somehow figure it out and get past Jacksonville. I like the Bills' chances against anybody in the AFC. I like them over New England. I think they beat Pittsburgh this year already. I hope it's Pittsburgh, to be honest. But yeah, I like Buffalo. Ooh, Denver. That Denver team, don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on Denver.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, that's a team that really finds a way to win. But I just feel like Josh Allen's experience is gonna help him out a lot in these playoffs. And also the fact that Mahomes is not in the playoffs is gonna help him out a lot as well. So yeah, Bills and Rams.
And I
That
got
sounds like a Super Bowl to me.
Seattle and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey man,
Damn.
I like yours better. I like yours better. Yeah.
Yo, not to switch gears, but I just see some trade news in the NBA
No way.
where Trae Young has been traded to the Washington Wizards.
Wait, what? What?
For CJ McCollum and Corey Crispert.
They sent them to the Wizards?
Yep.
Dang.
I don't know if that's all the details of the trade. It seems like that's it. No picks involved, nothing. I know Trae Young carries I think he's making like some crazy amount next year. But yeah, Washington.
Damn, they did my boy dirty.
Mad dirty.
Jesus. The Wizards?
Yep.
Man. I wonder what happened there. Wow.
So that should be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, looks like he's not making playoffs this year.
Definitely not.
But hopefully Washington has some sort of plan. But that's wild.
Yeah. We'll see.
I'm shocked.
So breaking news.
That is wild, man. I mean, nothing shocks me more than the Luka trade last year, but
Yeah, no, nothing is gonna
top that. But this, at least they sent Luka to the Lakers. They sent this man to the Wizards, yo. That's crazy. That's disrespect.
I got no word.
None. I'm gonna hold my. I need some time now to process.
Sometimes you see deals and you're like, oh shoot. Sometimes you see them, you're like, what? This is one of those.
Exactly. That's one of those.
Yeah.
It seems like they know stuff that we don't. So we'll see. I'll do a little research and look into this deal more.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah. But now you have any final thoughts, bro?
Yeah, quick thoughts. I need the Yankees to do something.
It's been kind of quiet, right?
MLB is the quietest offseason. This is the quietest MLB offseason. And I know a lot of it has to do with probably the lockout looming after next season. Nobody wanting to give out money, deals, spend money, none of that stuff. Small market teams are spending money because MLB is probably pressuring them and saying, yo, if you want us to fight for a salary cap and a salary floor, whatever, you need to spend money to justify it. But we'll see, man. I won't dive too deep into it, but
yeah,
I need MLB to do something, make moves, set a deadline so players can sign quicker. The Yankees wake up, trade for a pitcher, do something.
I agree. They've been very quiet this offseason. I don't know, man. I think the only team I heard do any significant moves, is the Blue Jays, no?
Yeah, and I don't
maybe
think
the
they're
Dodgers.
done. I think the Blue Jays got one more in them. So we'll see.
The World Baseball Classic is coming, right?
Yes, I'm excited for that.
Yes, that's what I'm looking forward to
I
right now.
am very excited for that. DR is looking crazy. Team USA is looking insane.
We got to do a breakdown of that
We
soon.
definitely do. You know, Japan is going to come with firepower always. PR
Always.
comes with firepower.
Is Mexico going to have a Rosarena again?
They might. I wonder.
The Eddie Guerrero of that team.
Yep.
Rosarena.
I'm excited for that. There's a lot of great talent out there, man. So it's nice to see them come together representing the countries. It's dope. I love the World Baseball Classic.
Me too. It makes it so much more exciting. I think it just brings more eyes on the sport, and I think that's always positive. And it's always exciting, man. It's like the double elimination is so awesome. It's like college basketball style, basically.
Yes. March Madness.
March Madness, yeah. So I love those knockout rounds.
Good stuff. I'm excited. We'll definitely do a breakdown on that before it starts.
And then we got the World Cup in the summertime. It's a lit year. Lit year. But now, bro, hey, I guess till next time, we'll see what we cook up.
We'll see how the NFL goes. We'll catch up for the next round, recap this round, see what we got right, what we got wrong, see if we got to adjust our Super Bowl picks again. You never know.
Yeah, and if y'all have any comments, you know, feel free to share what y'all agree, what y'all disagree with. Let us know. Put us on to your knowledge.
Yeah, send us your picks. Send us your Super Bowl picks, weekly picks, whatever. Ya lo sabe. And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, like we just said, share, do whatever you got to do. We appreciate the support.
Peace.
See ya.